Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Victory in Jesus for Sports. In this episode of Calientes, I will discuss the NFL Draft, Boo Hug, and the NFL Playoffs, and see later on why I compare Dirk to, Jerry Sloan. But the first Caliente topic is the NFL Draft, Boo Hugs. Okay, there recently was a player who went on record saying that there was a lot of people responding on the ESPN and other circuits that the quote-unquote bear hugs that surfaced after the commissioner would call a player's name, they would bear hug the commissioner, quote-unquote. And one player has gone on record, I won't name him, he has spoken out that he was disgusted at the fact that the draftees hugged the commissioner, saying that it was weak, and that he was disgusted that they were hugging a man who was cheating them or taking their money. Somewhere along the lines of that. First off, I would like to say, I know that the lockout is really a big mess and that players are upset and that the money situation it does need revamping and that they do deserve their money because they're the players and there would be no NFL without the players. But, having said that, there will be no NFL without the players. And if you are a player, you have a lot of power because you are a player. And if you boycott the NFL, then, of course they would go and resort to other players. But, you don't have to play, is what I'm saying in a nutshell. You can go to college like everybody else, finish college, become a lawyer, get a reality show, study hard, and become a doctor. You can do that if you want to. These draftees had a sense of gratefulness and lacked the sense of haughtiness because they were now finally rewarded from their hard work from 6 years old, playing Little League, hitting their head against someone else's head with a helmet on, and getting concussions, and having to wake up early and work out and missing out on everything that is in life that football makes you miss out on. And they're finally being rewarded for that in the NFL. They grew up watching this. They grew up watching you, whoever said that, maybe even, So, for you to say this, it's kind of like this was their day, okay? How dare you? I mean, they were experiencing an expression of emotion at that point. The emotion of the moment got over them. I mean, Mark Ingram broke down and cried after seeing his dad's email. I mean, it was a beautiful moment. And for you to say that, I mean, I feel your pain, but, dude, seriously? Honestly, you don't have to play football if you don't want to. If it's that much of a burden, if you feel like you're getting that cheated out of your money, you don't have to play. And it's just like the YouTubers that are out there right now. Read my letter to YouTube. Okay, I made one too, but I'm actually going to do something about my disposition on the issue. I'm going to go out and do something. I'm going to boycott YouTube for the day. I'm going to create a plan that allows new talent to be shown. And if you're not doing anything and you're just sitting there in front of the camera whining, just shut up. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And I'm done. We'll be back with Victory and Jesus for Sports after a word from our sponsors.
In a world where one girl doesn't curse, drink, or do other bad stuff, you'll never catch her drunk! Exclamation point. This is how I live. I stay in every night.
All night.
Give me a computer and we'll have a good time.
Heck yeah!
I don't never catch me drunk. Never catch me drunk, never catch me drunk. No alcohol around me, so you'll never catch me drunk. Playing night school fight on my computer. When I'm in the rust of 4, get my razors on my legs to shave my legs. So like a good girl. Coming soon. Like a good She's girl. Like a good girl. Like a good girl. Now she's following the rules. Like a good girl. Only on Victory in Jesus 4 YouTube channel. Let's go. Let's go.
Tired of seeing the same old videos on everybody's channels? Are you craving some sweet and salty comedy? Maybe you haven't seen a video on Victory in Jesus 4 YouTube channel. Well, look no further. VJ4 Gravy and Granolas has all those extras for you. They are bloopers, deleted scenes, comedy bits, sketches, so much more. If you would like your previews promoted on VJ4 Gravy and Granolas, leave a comment below on the channel or leave a message. Thanks!
VJ4 Gravy and Granolas, proud sponsors of Victory in Jesus 4 Sports.
And now back to the show. Victory in Jesus 4 Sports.
Good morning. Welcome back to Victory in Jesus 4 Sports. Earlier we discussed NFL draft blue. Now let's turn over to something else. Let's shift gears to the NBA playoffs. I love the playoffs, great drama. But right now I'm going to talk about the Dallas Mavericks close out the Portland Trail Blazers, and Dirk Nowitzki led them with 35 points and 11 rebounds. A lot of people, you can say what you want to about Dirk Nowitzki. You can say that he's soft. You can say that he's subpar, that he's not an actual NBA star, that he's not a big enough star. You can say all of that about Dirk that you want to, but Dirk gets his team there every year. His team gets 50-plus wins every year. And he is one of the most consistent players that I've ever seen in my life. People are going out there saying Dirk is allegedly being soft and whatnot. What else, man? What else? He is what his team needs. He's always getting them there. He's the reason why that they win 50-plus games every year. When Jerry Sloan does it, it's legendary. When Dirk does it, it's weak. That makes no sense, people. He is one of the best players, top 10 players in the NBA. He's one of the top 5 shooters. He's one of the best shooters in the NBA of all time. Can score at will. Not a streak shooter, or not even a three-point shooter. He's just a shooter. But shifting gears again, that's my rant on that. Sorry. Now shifting gears again to the game tonight. The Memphis Grizzlies are going to attempt to do what the Dallas Mavericks have done in closing out the Spurs in 6 games? 6 games, yes. And they have shocked everybody, including the Spurs. I was saying this for 5 years, man. And I even put this on Twitter at some point, and I think Rudy Gay saw it and he got mad at me, but I was saying for a while that the Grizz needs defense. And they shifted when they traded Shane for Rudy. Rudy is more of an offensive threat. Shane is more of a defensive threat, more of a guy that's going to be there and make the right plays at the right time. That's the kind of player he is. Rudy Gay is more as an offensive threat, like I said. Rudy Gay, to me, is like top 45, top 35 player on the offensive end of the spectrum. And really, and he's always improving and changing. But Powell will tell you that it takes more than just offense. Speaking of Powell, this leads me to today's and this week's poll question. Leave me a comment below with your answer for today's poll question. And yes, I will add your answers to next week's video. And with today's poll question, who is your favorite Gasol? Mine, I'm not gonna reveal right now, but it's between Mark, obviously, and Powell Gasol. Mark Gasol is more of a power guy. It's interesting. I think it's interesting because they're both Spanish people, and they're both having a European game, but Mark is more of a power. And I think it's interesting because he actually played in high school in Memphis. He was actually Mr. Basketball in Memphis for a Division II school. If you don't believe me, you can go on TSSAA.com and check out his name. He is there whenever he graduated from high school. But anyway, yeah. And also a big portion of the reason why this is doing so well is because Zemo, Zach Morris, is off the chain. I love how he has embraced the city, and he didn't do like other stars would. Maybe a big star who has a big head and thinks that they are the best thing since sliced bread. When they get to Memphis, they think, oh, all hope is lost. He did not do that. He actually plays hard. He embraced the team embraced him, he embraced the city really embraces him, and I think that it's a beautiful thing. And thank you so much. I believe that. And with that, I'm closing. We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, recap today's Calientes, and yes, some reminders. Read my open letter to you, my take on the video. This has been a broadcast of Victory in Jesus 4, brought to you by Victory in Jesus 4 and Jesus, because he died and rose and yeah, he's awesome. Just so we can live. Victory in Jesus 4, winning in Jesus. Thank you for listening / watching this broadcast of Victory in Jesus 4 on youtube.com/Victory in Jesus 4 Sports. Check out other Victory in Jesus 4 family of channels here on YouTube. They're amazing, not just because I made them, but because they are. And yeah, check out certain channels so you can always be updated with. If you haven't seen a video on sports, BJ4 Graving Ganolas is going to tell you schedules, things of that nature. So yeah, and next time we will discuss the Heat versus the Celtics. Is the Heat versus the Celtics really going to be the biggest sports rivalry of this era? And also, NFL top picks. Thank you. All this and more on Victory in Jesus 4.
Keep my mind at ease, and I'll tell you what his name is, and I'll tell you why he's famous. His word is his name, and the blood the same. Yeah.